Welcome to PrimeScoreX. In this video, we are going to break down how ATI TEAS 7 scoring works in a clear, practical, exam-focused way. The goal is not to overload you with isolated facts. The goal is to help you understand what this topic means on the ATI TEAS 7, why it affects your score, and how to handle it with calm, repeatable execution. This topic matters because it changes how you prepare and how you make decisions during the exam. Scoring is more useful when you understand that the report is not just a final number. It is feedback by domain and skill area. By the end of this video, you should have a cleaner mental model, a stronger study routine, and a more controlled way to respond when this issue appears in practice or on test day. Start with the essential facts. The exam includes scored and unscored questions. The score report can include total, content area, and sub-content area results. These details are not background decoration. They shape your pacing, your practice design, and the way you protect points under timed conditions. When the exam feels stressful, clear structure gives your brain something stable to follow. The next layer is how the detail behaves inside the real exam experience. Equating helps compare scores across different forms. Official score timing and school use can vary. If you prepare only by reading notes, this part can still surprise you. If you train with the structure in mind, the same information becomes predictable and manageable. A strong approach begins with two core ideas. First, do not judge readiness from one raw feeling. Second, use score categories to find weak domains. These ideas keep you from treating the TEAS like a random collection of questions. Instead, you start to see a system, what the test is asking, how the clock changes behavior, and where students usually lose easy points. There is also a useful contrast to remember. Sub-content feedback can guide targeted repair. Program requirements matter more than generic goals. The weaker version feels busy but does not always raise your score. The stronger version creates evidence, what you know, what slows you down, what repeats, and what needs a targeted fix before the next practice set. Use a simple method instead of improvising. Step 1, read the total score. Step 2, compare domain performance. These first two moves slow the situation down just enough to create control, without turning the question or the study session into a long analysis exercise. Then continue the method. Step 3, identify sub-content weaknesses. Step 4, turn the report into a study plan. This is where most improvement happens because you move from recognition to execution. You are not just saying, I understand the topic. You are proving that you can apply it correctly under TSAC-style pressure. The first trap is focusing only on the total score. This usually happens when a student moves too quickly, trusts a familiar-looking answer, or skips the instruction line. The fix is to pause long enough to identify the exact task before committing to the response. The second trap is ignoring sub-content patterns. This trap is dangerous because it feels like effort. You may be reading, calculating, or reviewing, but not in a way that changes the answer. A better move is to define the decision, make the best supported choice, and protect the rest of the section. Practice should be measurable. Begin with score report review. Do not simply ask whether the material feels familiar. Ask what your performance shows: accuracy, time control, mistake type, and whether the same weakness appears again after review. Next, add realism with domain gap analysis. Timed practice changes your behavior in ways untimed practice cannot. It reveals where you overthink, where you rush, and where your process breaks when the question is not presented exactly the way you expected. The third practice move is sub-content drilling. Pattern tracking is what turns mistakes into strategy. If you miss one question, that is a result. If you miss the same type of question again and again, that is a signal. Your study plan should respond to the signal, not just the score. Finally, use retest after targeted repair. Retesting is important because review can create a false feeling of mastery. The real question is whether you can apply the fix later, with a new question, without seeing the answer first. That is when learning becomes score movement. When you review, name the exact error. One common issue is assuming unofficial and official reporting are identical. Do not write a vague note like, I need to study more. Write the real cause. Was it timing, vocabulary, unit control, evidence, sequence, calculation, or misreading the prompt. Specific errors create specific fixes. Another common issue is not checking institutional score policies. The solution is not to feel bad about the miss. The solution is to replace the habit. Create one rule you will use next time. Then test that rule on a small set of new questions before moving on to a full section. Here's the memory cue. Score reports are maps, not labels. Keep it short enough to use during practice and during the exam. A good cue does not explain everything. It points your attention to the next right action when time pressure, fatigue, or uncertainty starts to build. The final takeaway is this. Scoring becomes powerful when it directs the next study move. If you make the process repeatable, the topic becomes less intimidating and much more useful. Do not chase perfection in one question. Build a system that protects points across the entire exam. Study smarter. Score your best.